In this video, I want to show you how you can use a calculator to massively speed up some of your statistical calculations. I'm going to be talking about using this calculator here, which is the Casio Class Whiz, but you can do what I'm going to show you in this question on a range of different calculators. So don't worry if you don't have this one. Most good scientific calculators can do this, including the graphical calculators. All right, let's take a look. So I've got my calculator emulator here. So I've got a kind of digital version, and we're going to be looking at exactly the same question that was in the previous video. And I just want to show you how you can do this on this calculator. Now, you may think in this question it would be faster to just do it by hand, but trust me, there's going to be questions in the future where it's definitely faster to use the calculator. So check this out. You first want to go to the menu and then find the statistics part of the calculator, which is down one and across one. So option 6 is statistics. Now there's a bit of jargon here, but essentially you're being asked whether you're dealing with one variable data or multiple variable data. So anything with y equals a plus bx, all of that, looks like the equation of a line because it's relating x and y values. But we've only got one variable that's being measured here, which is the number of siblings. People are not being asked how many siblings have you got and what's your shoe size. They're just being asked one question: how many siblings have you got? So we go with option 1. Now what we can do here is just list out all of our data. Now in the previous video to this, when we just had a list, we could just key that in, but here we've got our data presented in a frequency table. So we would like to fill in a frequency table on the calculator, and we can do that. You just need to do the following. You need to go to the setup. So press Shift and then Setup. Scroll down and you can see that option 3 is statistics. If you press 3, it gives you the option to turn frequency on or off. So we want to turn frequency on because we're dealing with a frequency table. Okay, now I've got my table and I've got an option for my values and for my frequency. So we'll just go in and key in our data. So the possible number of siblings is 0, and then enter 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need to worry about 5 because there are none of those. Now, don't worry about the numbers here. That's just keeping track of the row number. So we're not interested in that. Now, the frequencies are currently all set to 1. We want to change that to 8, then 12, then 6, then 3, then 1. Okay, so all of my data is now in. I've got my full table here with the x values here and the frequencies here. Now, I know it feels like you're going to lose everything, but you won't. Press AC. So that clears the screen. You notice it's a slightly different screen. It says statistics, one variable. Now, we've got a whole bunch of calculations at our fingertips now. Go to options and you've got some things. So select data type is if we wanted to change the sort of thing we were doing. We don't. If you press 3, you'll just see the data again, but it's 2 that we're interested in, one variable calculation. So that's going to give us all of the interesting calculations. So if I press 2, it lists out all of the stuff. It's quite small, but hopefully you can see. The very top value there says x bar, which we know now means mean, equals 1.23333. And that is indeed the answer we worked out in the previous question. But look, it also gives us some useful other stuff. So for example, it tells us what the sum of the x's, sigma x's, is 37. Now, there's a bunch of other stuff here which we're going to use a lot later on in the course. But for now, everything we need is on this page. Now, you are allowed to use your calculator in these sorts of questions, but you do need to show working. Here is what's required. So I'm going to write down exactly what's required. In your calculations, you need to show that you understand that the mean is found by adding up all of the x values and dividing by n. You need to sub those values in. So if you go back to your calculator, you need to sub in that it's 37 and the number of terms you know was 30. In fact, I think they do actually tell you that here in case you couldn't add up. There's 30 there. So 37 and 30. And then your answer, 1.23 recurring, or 1.23 if you're rounding. So you can use the calculator, just make sure that you show all of your working like this, and you don't simply write down the answer. As long as you show that you have found what the sum of the x's is and that you understand what n is, then you will get full marks. So it's not cheating to use a calculator, it is encouraged. Okay, the rules are, if you can use the calculator to do it, then you are allowed to. So feel confident about using the calculator. All right, in the next video, we're going to look at group data. So once again, I'm going to show you how to do it in full, and then I'll show you how to use the calculator to speed things up. So I'll see you there.